In early August 2025, the United States deployed 2 nuclear-powered submarines to northern waters, including the Norwegian Sea and areas near the Arctic, just off Russia's strategic frontier. This maneuver was carried out quietly, with no public announcement and little diplomatic coordination with neighboring Arctic nations. It occurred only days after former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev issued a stark warning about the potential use of tactical nuclear weapons in what Russia deems existential scenarios. More than just timing, the real signal lay in posture. The US was showcasing its willingness to project nuclear capabilities, silently and at close range, from beneath the sea into a zone Moscow considers critical to its national security. These were not routine patrols. These were deliberate moves, quiet but calculated. For Russia, the Arctic is more than a frozen frontier. It is a central pillar of its nuclear deterrence strategy. The Northern Fleet, based on the Kola Peninsula, houses Russia's most capable ballistic missile submarines, including the Beret class, equipped with Bulava intercontinental missiles. Historically, the region has been governed by a silent agreement among Arctic powers: minimal militarization, open lines of communication, and strategic restraint. But the deployment of US submarines into this space breaks that balance. It represents a quiet but forceful shift, a test of Russia's detection systems and of its willingness to respond. From Moscow's perspective, this was not a drill. It was a strategic provocation carried out at the edge of Russian waters in one of the most sensitive domains of its defense posture. Russia's response was swift. Within a week of the US deployment, Russia announced the commissioning of 2 new submarines, both immediately integrated into operational command. The first K-564 Perm is a Yasin M-class nuclear-powered attack submarine. Equipped with Caliber cruise missiles and Zircon hypersonic missiles, it offers stealth, speed, and long-range strike capabilities, above and below the surface. The second, Knyaz Pozharsky, is a Bore A-class strategic submarine. Armed with up to 16 intercontinental ballistic missiles, each capable of carrying multiple nuclear warheads, it reinforces Russia's second strike capability from under the sea. The close timing of these launches is no coincidence. They were a message. Russia is not just observing American movement. It is actively rebalancing the equation. While tensions rose in the Arctic, Russia and China launched joint naval drills, Joint Sea 2025, in the Sea of Japan. These exercises included warships, aircraft, and submarines from both nations. Notably, Chinese submarines docked at Russian military ports, a rare move that suggests deepening military trust. The drills covered submarine hunting operations, missile launches, naval coordination, and multi-domain communication systems. Though held in the Far East, the nature and timing of the exercise suggest it was more than regional readiness. It was a calculated message, one of strategic alignment. For China, participation signaled support, if not openly, then tactically, in response to US pressure on Russia. For Russia, it was reassurance that it is not alone beneath the surface. With melting ice opening shipping routes and unlocking natural resources, the Arctic has become more than a frozen wasteland. It is now a geopolitical arena. The United States has increased military infrastructure in Alaska and expanded undersea cooperation with Norway and the United Kingdom. Russia continues to develop ice-class ports, over-the-horizon radar, and anti-ship missile systems across the Siberian North. China, though not an Arctic nation, calls itself a near-Arctic state and is investing in Russia's northern logistics routes and resource projects. The result is a multi-domain competition: military, economic, and strategic. The Arctic is no longer peripheral. It's a front line where national interests are moving beneath the radar, beneath the ice, and beneath the surface of international discourse. submarine deployments, Russia's rapid naval response, and growing military coordination with China all point to a single reality. The most critical moves in today's strategic landscape are happening underwater. In this silent domain, out of sight and often out of mind, global powers are posturing, signaling, and preparing. The Arctic, once a symbol of remote neutrality, has become a pressure point. Not loud, not explosive, but deeply consequential. And unless new channels of transparency and restraint emerge, the next great confrontation may not begin in the skies or on land, but in the deep, cold waters of the far north. As the Arctic becomes increasingly militarized, what was once considered a frozen frontier is now a critical theater of strategic competition. The quiet deployment of U.S. nuclear submarines, Russia's swift and public response, and China's involvement through coordinated naval drills suggest more than just routine exercises. They reflect a recalibration of power dynamics beneath the ice. These moves are not just about deterrence, they are signals. Signals that each nation is prepared, not only to defend its interests, but to assert dominance in one of the most geopolitically sensitive zones on the planet. What we're witnessing may be the early formation of a new balance or imbalance of maritime power. In a world where open conflict is increasingly shadowed by cyber, economic, and underwater domains, the Arctic may be the stage for confrontation that remains silent until it no longer can. And so, as we continue to track these developments, the questions remain. Will this escalate into a Cold War 2.0 beneath the waves? Are these drills part of a coordinated deterrence strategy, or are they just the beginning of something deeper and potentially more dangerous? We encourage you to stay informed, stay critical, and don't accept any single narrative at face value. International security is a game of nuance, timing, and perception. And in the Arctic, those rules are being rewritten in real time. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth global analysis every week. Your attention helps keep this conversation alive, and we believe these are conversations worth having. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.